So hi and welcome. I'm Terri Pace. I am your host today, and we're going to kind of go through some content that is specific to today's topic, which is success for back to school, right? During today's workshop, we're going to talk about daily habits that you can do to pave the way for back to school success. I'll share some of my simple routines and some of my favorite essential oils for, the top 3 ways that we kind of achieve success, right? I know that, not everybody has a firm foundation on exactly what is an essential oil. So I'm going to start with just, 1 or 2 slides to just share exactly what is an essential oil and what are the health benefits. Why would you want to use them? So if you leave here today with some simple steps that you can take to feel confident and, kind of hold that success in your heart, knowing that it's possible for you. If I could do that for you, would you find that valuable? Well, that's my intention here, right? And so we'll start with what is an essential oil. So an essential oil is a plant. It's been distilled, right? It comes from the leaf, the bark, the stems, the flower, sometimes, as in the case of citrus fruits, it's cold pressed from the rind, right? The essential oil is a naturally occurring volatile aromatic compound. It is nature's chemistry, right? And so when we have the right chemistry in the essential oil bottle that's at our fingertips, we have amazing health benefits. Right? The essential oils produced by the plant for protection, for healing, and for communication, right? It attracts pollinators and it can repel pests. And so those same 3 things are why we would want to use them, right? It's going to help protect us from environmental threats. It helps us recover from things that we might have had go on. And it improves our intercellular communication. And when our cells talk to each other better, it's like having, a couple more bars on your cell phone, right? It's a really good thing to have better communication, right? That's how we get everything done in our body. So how do you use an essential oil? Well, you can just put it on your hands and breathe it in. I'm going to invite you to do it. Like just pick, if you have an essential oil at your fingertips right now, just put some on. Breathe it in deeply, right? We can just simply do that. If you have a diffuser, you can put it in the diffuser to impact the whole room, right? It cleanses the air, it supports your respiratory system. And so there's a lot of really good uses, right? I love using essential oils aromatically when I want to shift mood or perception. The second way is to just apply it topically to the skin, right? We get localized benefits. It's a very well-founded, well-studied method of applying essential oils. Sometimes you might need to dilute it. And today we're talking a little bit about that back to school arena. And, so when we're using it on children, we definitely want to dilute it, right? They have less sophisticated systems, right? They're still in that growth process and we don't want to overwhelm them. But I want to impress on you that diluting an essential oil does not minimize its effects. It merely slows absorption. And so it gives the body more time to process the chemistry that's coming in through the skin. Next, internal. It's actually one of my favorite ways to use essential oils, right? You put it in water or in a veggie cap. You can put it under your tongue, right? One of the things that I love about doTERRA's essential oils, right? Not all of them are created equal, and doTERRA's are not just okay to use internally, they're actually recommended. Like the greatest systemic benefits you're going to get is by taking it internally. Now, you really wouldn't do that with almost any other essential oil, right? When you look at the quality, right? Plants are grown and harvested in their natural habitat. They go under incredible amounts of both, doTERRA testing as well as third-party testing. And they are there to assure that it's pure, that it's concentrated, that if it grew with the plant, it stays with the plant. And if it didn't grow with the plant, it doesn't get added, right? It is free of any kind of pesticides or GMO or any kind of contaminant, right? And when you have something that is that pure and that concentrated, you have incredible health benefits. And, you know, so here is a quick kind of icon that shows you, right, a bacteria has its own membrane. And so it can't get inside your cells, which also have a membrane, right? Those membranes are kind of protective. A virus, however, actually moves its way inside your cells, and it uses the material of your cell for its own reproductive purposes. Because it is on the inside of the cell, it's very difficult for the modern medicines, right, antibiotics and things like that, to get inside the cell to kill it. But what's the good news? Well, the doTERRA essential oils have the same organic structure, right, the same organic chemistry that allows it to permeate the membrane of your cell, right? I always say it has an all-access security pass, so it's able to get in and affect both the bacteria and the viruses, right? And so this is one of the ways that we can help prevent and eliminate some of the threats that we come in contact with. So let's talk a little bit about starting the school year off right. You know, particularly this year, we have some added concerns, and, you know, I want to just share with you reasons to be confident. So what are the 3 foundations of success that we're going to focus on today, right? So the first is enhanced immunity, proper rest, and mental clarity and focus, right? These things are super important when we go off to school. So let's start with enhanced immunity. So there's 3 steps to immunity, right? So the first 2, right, are to kill the bacteria and viruses and to reduce our exposure, right? That's kind of what we've been doing these last 6 months. But what's the problem? Well, you can never completely eliminate all the threats, right? And so I want you to just consider the use of cell phones, right? This is 25,107 is the amount of germs per square inch on a typical cell phone. That's more bacteria than is on like an average toilet seat, right? So we can never completely eliminate threats. And I want you to think about how you use your cell phone, right? Do you hold it near your mouth when you're talking? Sometimes, you know, when you're not really thinking about it, do you hold it in your hands all the time, waiting for the call or waiting for the next text message, right? Do you brush it on your face or on your lips when you're not, like, you're kind of like, you know, your mind is drifting? What about your children? What are they doing with their phone, right? And so we can never completely eliminate the problem. So our other solution is to increase prevention. And the name of the game with prevention, Ben Franklin said it the best: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? We will all agree it is easier to avoid getting sick than to fix it, right? And so we want to actually enhance our immunity, right? Boost our immune function is the key to prevention, right? And so Dr. Hill reminds us our immune systems are the first line of defense against any kind of disease or virus, right? So how do we actually boost our immune system and enhance our immunity, right? There's a couple of easy steps that you can take. You ready for them? Okay, so we want to establish some really healthy daily routines, right? It's kind of like going to the gym. If you went, you know, once a month, you're not really going to see a big difference. If you go once a week, you'll see a little bit of a difference. But if you did something every single day, right, you are going to see a big difference. And so when we're talking about enhancing immunity, these are things we want to do every single day. And so we want to look at some internal immune defense and some external immune defense, right? So right out of the gate, you know, On Guard is a protective blend. That's its name, right? On Guard, the protective blend. It's a combination of wild orange, clove and cinnamon, eucalyptus and rosemary. And if you look at the chemistry in these individual oils, you will understand why it is the best essential oil blend for protection, right? You know, I could spend probably an entire hour just talking about the 5 different oils in this blend and what they do for the body. It's so effective at doing what it does that there's a family of products. So like we On Guard our whole lifestyle, right? So for your back to school area, or you can start with just, you know, having throat lozenges in your child's backpack, right? They soothe the throat, they help fight off those germs. It's building immunity at the same time, as well as it's antimicrobial. They also have these tiny little beadlets, so you can just pop a drop, right? It's a very simple way to actually boost immune function, and and of course, you know, making sure that your child is old enough to have kind of like a sucky in their mouth. You could also take the On Guard Plus, right? The little soft gels that have On Guard combined with Melissa, black pepper, and oregano, right? Really powerful immune boosting benefits, right? One of the things that we do sometimes is I just kind of either put in a capsule or put in a hot steaming cup, and I just, you know, put, you know, On Guard, oregano, melaleuca, sometimes lemon or peppermint, right? Depending on, you know, what I'm trying to do, put it in that cup and, you know, breathe it in, open my airway, and kind of clean out everything that's up there. Moving into kind of external, what we can do is simply apply On Guard to the bottom of the feet every single morning, every single evening, right? If your child's off to school, you definitely want to make sure you do it once before they leave and as soon as they come home, right? Just kind of, you know, remember the 3 things, right? We want to kill them, we want to reduce our exposure, and we want to increase prevention. And by doing this, you're doing all 3 things. What else can we do in the external? Well, we can wash our hands, right? That's been drilled into our heads since we were, you know, young kids, right? Wash your hands, right? That's the best way to, you know, kill germs. We also have an On Guard sanitizing mist, where when you're out in public, just spritz your hands before you touch anything that's been touched by other people. And then, of course, there's a surface cleanser that you can make with the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. One single bottle can make hundreds and hundreds of applications. So I know we've been using this to clean the church in between masses, and a single bottle has lasted, like, I think 2.5 months now, right? So it's very cost effective. Some of my other favorite essential oils for immune support are cilantro, cassia, cinnamon, frankincense, lemon, right? This simple gift of lemon, oregano, and thyme, right? These are really powerful. And if you notice, right, you have cassia, you have cinnamon, you have cilantro, oregano, thyme. Like 5 of these are actually herbs that we eat. And so what I want to share with you now is kind of the connection between immune health and digestive health, right? And so the first line of defense is your immune system, and 70% of your immune system lies in the walls of your digestive tract, right? Super powerful. When we help the gut, we boost immune function. And so one of the quickest ways that you can do that is with a really good probiotic, right? We know that, you know, as we age, and sometimes, you know, some of the foods that we eat are not very friendly to the microbiome in our belly, right? Which leaves us at risk for, you know, an overpopulation of some of the pathogens that maybe shouldn't be growing, but they are, right? And, you know, we know that, you know, if we're not careful, it could really impact how powerful our immune response is, right? And so we want to take our PB Assist. Now, they do have a PB Assist Junior for children. It's in a pixie stick format. And so it makes it really simple to add it to, let's say, a yogurt or an oatmeal, or even just have them put the pixie stick right underneath. It's a double encapsulation formula, both in the pixie stick and in the capsule. And so it helps get the probiotic into the lower intestine where it's needed, right? many of the probiotics that are on the market are destroyed in the stomach. And so they're not really implanting themselves in the wall of your digestive tract. Right? And so doTERRA has solved this problem by its patented delivery system. So, something really simple that you can do every single day to boost your immune function. So let's move on to getting the proper rest, right? One of the things that my kids when they were young, like, why do I have to go to bed? I'm like, well, when you don't get the right amount of sleep, you also have an impact on your immune function, right? We have this increased incidence of illness. And, we want to make sure that, you go to bed and you get a good night's sleep, right? We do a lot of kind of fixing things that might be broken or in need of repair while we're sleeping. And so it's super important. And I would hazard to guess that many of our young children and our teens are not getting enough sleep, right? We're getting them to go to bed, but are they, going to sleep, and getting the right proper rest, right? So the average sleep requirement is well over 8 hours, upwards of 10 hours, depending on the age, right? I mean, gosh, I would love to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep, right? Wouldn't it be go backwards as a child? I'm like, okay, yay, I get to sleep 8 to 10 hours a day. Right? Wouldn't that be great? Okay, so, there's lots of things that we can do to help get that proper rest. So the first is, like, Serenity is a restful blend, right? It has really great essential oils combined, and it's meant for you to use. So what are you going to do? So 30 to 60 minutes before going to sleep, you would put it in the diffuser in the bedroom. Or you could just put it on the pillow or even like on their pajamas. You could rub it on the spine or on the bottom of the feet, right? If you're giving them a bath, you could put a couple of drops in the tub. And it's great to help reduce that anxiousness. And, sometimes you have that chatter, right? It's like, I can't really fall asleep because I got so much on my mind, right? There's a sense of calm and serenity that washes over me when I put this oil on at bedtime, right? But there are different aromas. Some people like it, some people don't. And so we have lots of different essential oils that are good to help us sleep, like lavender and Roman chamomile. Vetiver is one of my absolute favorites. It is a root oil, right? So when we think about the 5 categories of oils, root oils are very grounding and stabilizing to the nervous system, right? And so it's our nervous system that's on, like looking for, okay, am I safe? Am I not safe? And so vetiver and sandalwood as root oils they're very vicious oils, right? They're thick, so they stay on the skin longer and they help keep you asleep longer. So my absolute favorite. Then, there's always the morning, right? So success for going back to school means we got to wake our kids up, right? And so when my kids were younger, I would do a couple of different things. So one of them was I would put balance on the bottom of their feet. I would just go in about 20 minutes before I wanted to wake them up, and I would just give them a little foot massage with balance. It's very calming, and so they wake up instead of with this, right? And then the whole morning is like that, right? It's a way of connecting with your child and, just really getting them into this balance, right? To alleviate any kind of anxiousness of the day. You can rub it on the back of the neck. You can put it on the temples. You can use it throughout the day, right? Make a roller bottle and just use it throughout the day. But it's a great morning routine. I also love using, let's say, like peppermint and wild orange. I would go in and I would put a couple drops in the diffuser, so I would set up the diffuser with the peppermint and wild orange, and I would give the foot rub with balance. And then I would leave and do, stuff for myself for the 15, 20 minutes. And then when I go back in, my son was ready for the day, right? And so how wonderful is it that we can influence how our mornings go? They don't have to be this zoo that stresses us out. Okay, so what else? let's go on to mental clarity and focus. This is key, right? We know that we can get them to school, we can keep them safe in school, but are they absorbing the material, right? And so rosemary improves brain performance and mood. Simply rub it on the temples or on the brain stem, and you have a simple way of helping improve your child's chances. Citrus bliss is another essential oil. It's a combination of all these really happy citrus oils. I call it creamsicle in a bottle. All right, remember the creamsicle ice creams that you see? I also love peppermint, right? It helps with memory recall. And so when we're thinking about, mental clarity, right? When we bring oxygen to our brain, the brain cells are going to do what they know how to do better, right? Any cell that gets more oxygen is going to be a healthier cell, right? And so I love combining citrus oils with peppermint, or even peppermint with rosemary. It's an amazing combination, right? You can apply it to the neck, the temples, or the feet. Now I will have just one or two cautions here. Now peppermint's a warm oil, so if you're putting it on a young child, it might make the skin feel tingly, right? And so you'd want to maybe dilute with a fractionated coconut oil, or just put it on the bottom of the feet or in the diffuser and not put it on their neck at all. We also have photosensitivity with some citrus oils. And so if your child's going to be outdoors, you don't want to put it on a place where the sun is going to impact it, right? So you can use them on the bottom of the feet or in the diffuser. And then at night, you can use it as a topical application other places. But there's lots and lots of different essential oils. So some of my favorites, right? Steady and Thinker, In Tune, right? Even just the names, right? I'm grounded and I'm focused and balanced, right? There's lots of different ways that we can enjoy some mental clarity and more focus. Part of our focus is that we're distracted a lot. And so if you can ground the nervous system and reduce some of those distractions, there is, a better ability to absorb material. Now, going to school right now is stressful for your child, it's stressful for us, it's stressful for teachers. And so I want to talk just a little bit about what goes on in your autonomic nervous system, right? And so you have like this continuum. You have your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system, right? So your sympathetic is just sympathetic to what's going on. So there's a reaction by the sympathetic nervous system. And then once it's over, we go into the rest and digest phase, right? And so I like to describe it like a teeter-totter, right? So, when you're being chased by the saber-toothed tiger, right? Your adrenaline increases, right? Your heart rate, it elevates your blood pressure, right? So your nervous system gets engaged, right? That sympathetic nervous system is engaged, right? And you have rapid breathing. It dilates your pupils, right? And as all of this is happening, there's a cost, right? Your body systems will slow down, right? Your digestive and immune function slow down. And sometimes they cease to function altogether, like waste elimination, right? And, if you have prolonged stress, right? Prolonged sympathetic reaction of your nervous system, you are having issues with your lymphatic system, hormone disruption, digestive, right? You know that when you're stressed out, you get a bellyache, you can't even eat, or maybe you overeat, right? Because it releases cortisol, which makes you crave carbs, right? And so if you're a carbaholic, you know that you have an abundance of stress hormones kind of coming out into your bloodstream, right? And it's pro-inflammatory, right? And so, all this is good in the moment that you need it, but what happens when we're chronically stressed? And so one of the things that you can do to boost your immune function, right? When we're stressed, we don't think as clearly, right? So we want to increase mental focus. We don't sleep well when we're stressed. And so the three things that we're trying to do here, enhanced immunity, proper rest, and mental clarity and focus are all disrupted when we do not get stress under control. And so here are some of my favorite ways, right? So balance, in tune, lavender, like any one of these, frankincense, vetiver, copaiba, right? They're all really good. Put them on the back of your neck, put them on the big toe, right? I love putting it on the big toe in the morning or at night. Sometimes I just will, cue it up on my diffuser. I'll put it on my hands, breathe them in, right? Sometimes I don't even have that, so I just feel like smelling it right out of the bottle, right? One of the other things that I love, peppermint and wild orange is just such a great, happy smell, right? The peppermint brings a rush of oxygen to my brain, right? I can think more clearly and assess what's really going on and make better choices. The wild orange has an abundance of chemistry that helps your body produce dopamine, which is your happy drug. And I know that when I'm happy, alert, and focused on what I'm trying to do, I make better decisions. And so do your children, right? And so, getting stress under control is super simple when you have essential oils at your fingertips. Now, using essential oils, doTERRA made it super simple, right? They have a kids collection. And so Thinker, Calmer are good for the mind. Stronger and Rescuer, good for the body. And Steady and Brave is for the heart, for that courage that they need to deal with what they have to deal with every single day. What I like about it is that it's pre-diluted, so you don't have to worry about, is it the right strength for my child? It's specifically designed for children, so it makes it really convenient and safe for them to use it on their own, right? Look how adorable this young boy is, putting the oils on himself, right? Imagine, what's the legacy that you're teaching your family? So, make over your child's backpack, right? If you want to just put your name and email in the chat, I will send you out some great resources of some of the stuff that we talked about today, as well as a link to the article here that helps you make over their backpack. Like, what do you need to put so that they stay balanced and focused and, boost their immune system the whole day long. So I also wanted to share, I know that there's some teachers out there that are going back to school too. And so, there's a few kind of staples that you need in your classroom, right? So lemon helps clean the whiteboard, right? You can diffuse it to cleanse the air, and it has very energizing properties. So even if you're using it on your breaks, putting it in your water, you're still going to get all those benefits. As I mentioned, peppermint is great for focus and energy. It's really good for headaches. So if what's going on in your classroom is giving you a headache, right? Pop a beadlet, or just put it on the back of your neck or on your temples. On Guard is absolutely essential, right? Spraying the doorknobs with your sanitizing spray mist, and you can even make spray bottles with the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. There's so many essential oils that help balance our mood, right? Especially those citrus oils, and some of our favorites, right, to help with that anxiousness, to calm the teacher and the classroom. So there was this great story, right? Albert Lefebvre, he was a teacher in Arizona, and he put a cotton ball and placed it behind the fan in his classroom. And he started this on testing week, and he noticed that within 15 minutes, the students' nervous energy calmed down, right? And then he stopped doing it for 3 days, and the nervousness resumed. And then on the 4th day, he did it again with lavender, and it was calming the environment again, right? And so simply by breathing in an essential oil that's pure and potent, you're going to have a shift, not just for yourself, but for the students that are around you. So what are some of my favorite essential oils for the classroom, right? So On Guard is absolutely one of them. Lemon, lavender, peppermint. Balance, right? That grounding and stabilizing effect. Bergamot, right? For your happy students. Citrus bliss, right? It's creamsicle in a bottle. Who doesn't love that? And elevation, right? Elevation helps, relieve emotional stress. One of the other things that you can do very simply, right? Correct X. You could put around the inside of the nostrils, right? It has frankincense, helichrysum, cedarwood, melaleuca, and lavender. It provides this very protective moisture barrier, right? Because this is one of the areas where we're going to bring things into our body. It will soothe and purify the skin, and it helps boost immune response, even in that topical application, right? And so this is just a simple way that you can protect yourself and your children whenever you go out in public, especially in the morning before school. So if you don't yet have essential oils at your fingertips, it's super easy to get it, right? So the first thing is, you become a member of doTERRA, right? You get 25% off everything you buy. It's kind of like joining Costco. And there's only, one requirement, and that is to buy one thing a year, right? You can do it every month if you wanted to, but that's for people who really want to live and love the natural solutions lifestyle, right? There's two ways to get started, right? You could pay $35, which is your membership fee, and then you select whatever oils you want. Or you can select one of the kits that is kind of pre-assembled based on a theme, and then they waive the $35 fee and you get some other bundled savings. And third is, live and love the natural solutions lifestyle, right? You can either, get your products for free by racking up lots of points. You can share with other people that you love and get a supplemental income to help pay for your order and give you some fun money. Or you can create financial independence to, by helping other people gain physical and emotional well-being, right? It's just the best profession that I've ever associated with. And so if you are not yet a member and you want a free sample or you want some more help, you can just fill out this form, right? It's just a way for me to contact you so I can send you an appropriate sample for what's going on in your life. You can connect with me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I have a Vimeo channel. So, I invite you to just connect with me. You can simply email me at simply.natural@optimum.net or text me at 631-487-1627. I would love to connect with you and help you have success in your back to school experience. So thank you so much for joining me today.